this group actually could be similar to Group 20 last week when Chang Bingyu established the lead in the group at 6 points, and then Zhou Yulong and Mark King played out a 2-all draw, and as a consequence, Chang held on to go through. Can Peter Devlin hold on to go through? If there's a draw, he will.
Yeah, that's the only result now that will mean that Devlin... Well, I say that, of course, 3-1 to Chow Yuping. And Devlin would have a superior frame difference, wouldn't he? So there is another result that would help him. But anyway, it's out of his hands. It's down to these two. They know what they've got to do. Bingham certainly will. So any win for Bingham and a 3-0 win for Chow is what we're saying.
And we're always talking about the potential importance early in the day of putting together a sizable break, and this is a classic example of that. When he made that 104, he couldn't have imagined the ramifications, but here he is.
No.
Bingham certainly looked better in his second match. It wasn't flawless. He had a miscue at one point, but his general approach was very attacking. Got on the front foot from the start, and he ultimately beat Peter Lyons 3-0. Funnily enough, Lyons took the same approach, didn't he, in his match? Although, of course, it did end in a draw. Ooh, got so close to that. Wow. Didn't leave it on. Yeah, one of those sounded like it was in, but didn't drop. Very close, Stuart. In some ways, though, this match now is like any other he'll play during the year. He's got to win it. Simple as that, otherwise he's out of the tournament. In terms of previous matches between the two, 5 times, and Chow just has the edge, 3-2. Most recently was 4 years ago. He won quite handsomely, actually, 4-0 in the quarterfinals in Gibraltar on the way to the final.
Yeah, he played brilliantly in that match. Clinched with a break of 123. But Bingham's 2 wins over Chow came via whitewashes. So make of that what you will. And in both of those matches, Bingham made a century.
Well, they played in some glamorous places, didn't they? Gibraltar, a couple of times in China, India, and Gloucester. And now Leicester.
Worcester feels left out.
Table 2, of course, is coming down to the wire as well. This is the same for Fai and Tianpeng Fei. Tian's got a win, and he looks like he's about to go 2-0 up. 57 in front, 51 on. Black potentially to follow. Two snookers needed, otherwise it's 2-0, and all the pressure then on for Fai to win the last two. Meanwhile, Bingham's got in with a plant there, so he's on this blue with the reds opening up his sort of territory.
Six. Seven.
Nice cannon to free the black. On for a potential maximum break in the first frame of the match with Peter Lyons, but miscued on 65.
14.
We talked, don't we, about the rarity of a player losing their first match and winning a group in this format. To lose your first match 3-0 and come back to win the group, that's something indeed. But Bingham fancies the task.
Yes, in that scenario you need some luck.
Yes.
And he's had some with other results. Draws have obviously
22.
slightly neutralised the group.
Yeah.
Yes, after that 3-0 defeat against Peter Devlin, the next three matches in the group that didn't involve him all ended up as draws.
23. $30. 31.
As we've been saying all day, regarded as one of the best break builders in the game. 531 centuries, puts him 10th on the all-time list. Century break makers. This is why he just gets the balls into position so well and controls things so well.
38.
Rate of scoring just dropped off a little last season though. He made 25 centuries, but the season before he'd made 50.
39.
That's reflected in the fact that we didn't see him really in the latter stages of that many events.
$46. 47.
Quite correctly, Stuart Bingham takes great pride in being a member of the game's elite top 16. He starts the season 13th, and when you're down there, there is a tendency to perhaps look over your shoulder.
54.
So winning the group tonight would really help in that regard. Get his season off to a perfect start, given that he's already through the qualifiers of the European Masters.
55.
If you watch Bingham closely, the thing that's
62.
really impressive about him when he's break building is the pace of play. It never becomes too hasty. It certainly never becomes too ponderous. It's that nice, easy,
63.
constant rhythm.
Yeah, you expect him to be around the 20-second shot mark, don't you? That's certainly not slow. It's not running around the table either. It's just where he's comfortable.
$68.
Bray goes to 68. The frame not quite secure yet, though. He needs one more red.
$69.
Well, he's got one more ready, like a colour in as well, I guess, just to stop any playing on.